Hi, everyone. Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and creator of 3 Day Weekends Coaching. And I'm here with another business leadership in 15 minutes. I do these every week on Tuesdays, and I do them for a couple of reasons. One is for you to shift your perspective, your vantage, the way you think about your business, and turn it into your competitive edge. It can actually be your superpower. It's magic, right? When things align and you start thinking differently, it's amazing on what you can accomplish and what you're capable of. So I primarily work with business owners who are in the skilled trades or the automotive industry. Those spaces are really near and dear to me. Those people have a lot of grit and drive, and it took them years to hone their skill sets, their craft, and really become the experts that they are. But when it comes to operating a business, sometimes they want a little bit of guidance. They don't want to take as long to learn to navigate through that. And that's where I come in and give them some guidance. So this week's topic is business owner and leaders and team challenges, part one. This is a meaty topic, so I broke this down into two parts. So, owners and leaders, teams, the challenges that they have with teams. So, this came about because I recently spoke with owners and leaders about the challenges that they're facing today. And I have to say that it kind of amused me when I hear solopreneurs that don't have teams believe that, the key is not to hire anyone because they don't want to deal with all the challenges of having a team. So that's one way of looking at it, right? I don't have to deal with all that. They believe or think that they have more freedom when they don't have anybody to delegate anything to. They don't have anyone to bounce things off of within their own business. So that can be a challenge within itself. But with teams, people do face different challenges. And the top challenges that I hear owners talk to me about are number one is finding top talent. Hiring the best can be challenging today. And they'll tell me that not many are applying or they may even, be leaving the industry. So when I hear that, I say, well, imagine if your business was the one that they are looking for, not so that they have a job, right? It's the job that they've always wanted, the environment that they always wanted to be. It's the place where they feel valued, appreciated, and they really want to do their best. It's a place where they can shine. So think of it that way. The next challenge that many owners have is accountability, getting their people to perform, to show up on time, to operate as a professional and take responsibility for their actions and performance. No blaming, no excuses. And a lot of owners are telling me that's what they're seeing today. Well, imagine if you were attracting people that enjoyed accountability, that really wanted to know when they were winning, when they were doing well. And then the third thing that owners are saying is a big challenge is whether it's a supplier or a vendor, they hear it from everyone that everyone is just shorthanded today. And this is resulting in a lower quality of customer service. And they're experiencing a lot of delays, with their own suppliers and vendors. And this can cause frustration for owners and leaders who really still want to provide great service for their customers. So, how do you deal with this? Because we're seeing this in all industries. It's not just in the skilled trades and automotive. When you go out, we're seeing this in the medical industry, fields and industries, restaurants, food stores, professional services, all of them. We're seeing this. So, when we think about this, The first thing is to start with pro thinking, right? Shift the way that we're looking at this challenge, these challenges, these problems, if you want to call it that, and shift the way that we're thinking. Come at it from a different way. The world is changing, but we can control more than we realize. And what can you do differently today that will make an impact on your team and your business? So look beyond the team, right? And let's look in the mirror. Let's do that. That is the mindset, the way that we're going to think about this. So the first step is to start understanding your core values. What values are important to you? List the top 3. This doesn't have to be a big, meaty thing. It doesn't have to be something that takes a long time. Think about your top 3 core values and what are deal breakers? What are the ones that, the things that if people didn't align with that, that would be just a total deal breaker for you, whether it's a team member, a supplier, a vendor, whoever, a customer. Make sure your team understands your core values. And so share them and have team members share them as well with new team members. If they don't, there will be challenges. So make sure that everyone is aligned. And it will be very, very difficult for you to delegate things if your team members don't align with your core values. One of your core values may be trust. And if you don't feel that you trust your team members or a team member, it's going to be very difficult to delegate. The second step is to assess, focus, and lead. It's a framework that I use. Use that framework. So when you assess what you're doing, putting it into this context, is how do you show up each day? How do you, as the owner or leader, show up each day? Are you positive or are you negative? And believe me, I get it. I understand that you have a lot of responsibility. But do you have a plan? And do you share that plan with your team? Do they know what is going on? What's expected? Focus is the next step in this framework. Are you focusing on the owner, leader role and goal of setting clear expectations and building skills? Or are you putting out fires all day, just running from one thing to the next? Or are you really focusing on your role as the owner and leader of your business? And last is lead. Are you an example of the kind of behavior that you want to see in others? So, do you collaborate with people? Do you get input? Are you a great listener? That's part of collaboration. Or do you blame and come up with excuses yourself? We need to be an example of the kind of behavior that we want to see in others. So it's great to be able to celebrate quick wins when these things are happening during your week. And I want to give you just a few examples of those wins. And then I want to share a tool with you to use and tie this all together. So examples of quick wins could be like the structure of your meetings. Have a framework that's really short, concise, and includes the team. This way, it's the same framework that you use every single time you do a meeting. And if you're away, the meeting can run without you. You can have someone else in charge of the meeting and it can still be productive. And then they can report back to you, what the results were, what the outcome of the meeting was. Say thank you. Be genuine when you thank others. A thank you can come across as very flat or even sarcastic when said improperly or it's not genuine. So be genuine and thank others. Get to know your team as individuals. It's important for people to know that they matter. What are their plans for the weekend? They have a celebration coming up. How are they going to celebrate it? Maybe it's a milestone, an anniversary, a child's birthday, something that's coming up in their personal life, something that they've accomplished. And you want to know what's going on and get to know them. Daily gratitude. What are you grateful for? Even during the most challenging times, there is always something to be grateful for. It could be support that you're getting. It could be a kind word. Kind words matter during challenging times. They can be very helpful. So remember that daily gratitude. Be grateful and acknowledge the wins, large and small. Celebrate wins, even if it's a high five, because those high fives build momentum. Maybe it's a great review that your company received and you want to share it with the team to make sure that they saw it. It could be someone who got through a really challenging job that they were on and they figured it out. That could be a win because now they know and they're better prepared for the next time. The last thing I want to give you an example about is praise in public and coach in private. Embarrassing or humiliating people breaks down trust and it makes people defensive. So coach people privately to help them grow, to help them learn, and to help them grow. So those are some of the examples that you can have as quick wins when you're putting this framework in place, the assess, focus, and lead framework in place, and you can celebrate those. So lastly, I would like to finish off with a tool, and I suggest that you take notes for this. It's very simple, but it really can make an impact. So you can use this tool personally or professionally. You can share it with your family, your kids, your manager, your team members, even like other business owners. But here's what you do is you ask yourself, I call this rate your day, the rate your day tool. It's a reflection of your day. And what you're doing is you're rating your day of how you were showing up as a leader. So how did you show up as an owner or leader today? Basically, you're looking at a scale from 1 to 6. 1 is poorly and 6 is you really knocked it out of the park. It was a high performance day. So that's how you're going to use this. So what situation came up after you put the score in of how you did? What was the situation that came up today that you're thinking about, right? And it was you had to be a leader. How did you perform? So you describe the situation that came up. It could be a couple of words just to jog your memory. How did you handle it? What did you say or what did you do? Right? So you look at that and you write that down. Now, which of your core values showed up? Describe. Was it trust? Was it patience? Was it what was it? How did it show up? Was it respect? And it may have showed up well or it may have not showed up well, but what was the core value here that we're talking about? So describe what that core value was. And what would you do next time? Would you handle it the same way or how you handled it, what you did or what you said? Would you do that the exact same way? Did it go well? Or would you do something differently? Now that you look back on it, what would you do differently? So use this tool again, personally or professionally. This allows you to navigate and adjust quickly to improve your performance. This will help you. And after a while, say you use this tool for like 2 weeks and you're writing everything down, you'll be able to just know this framework so well that you can just rate your day like on the way home in your vehicle. And it could be a quick thing that you just check off. It really doesn't take up a lot of time. But this is a great way to stay in touch with your team and help with some of the challenges. So that's it for this week's Business Leadership in 15 Minutes. Next week, we'll have part 2 of owners and leaders and team challenges. We'll dive a little bit deeper So here is to an enjoyable week.